French government has released a short video featuring Ivanka Trump speaking to world leaders at the G20 summit. Now, the video went viral, and after you watch it, you could probably figure out why.
Yes, but this is about social justice. And
it's all, yeah.
As soon as you start talking about the economic aspect of it, though,
yeah.
A lot of people start listening who wouldn't otherwise listen.
And the same with the defense side of it.
Yeah.
In terms of the whole sort of business. It's been very male-dominated, so.
Oh God, that was so wonderfully embarrassing.
So good.
Oh my God, and look, I got to tell you, and I'm going to admit this gratuitously. I've been there, okay? Not among world leaders where you don't belong, okay? But I'm an up-and-coming talk show host, or no, not really. I'm a struggling talk show host early in my career, and I go to conventions and I try to butt in a little bit, like, hey.
Oh, it's the worst thing in the world.
It's so awkward. It's terrible.
But you're in the profession, so you do belong there, and it is awkward to jump in. But Ivanka Trump has absolutely no expertise, no history, no work experience in the type of position she has now as White House advisor. And everyone knows the only reason why she's in that position, the only reason why she's at the G20 summit in front of all these world leaders is because she's Donald Trump's daughter. Now, the woman that you see in the video who seems pretty annoyed is Christine Lagarde. She's head of the IMF, and she's actually a fascinating woman to speak to. When I was at the Munich Security Conference, I had a conversation with her, and she is not a dismissive woman. She's not the kind of person who just kind of brushes people off. But just to give you a little more context into what they were discussing, now you have Emmanuel Macron, you have Justin Trudeau, Christine Lagarde and Theresa May all speaking together. Ivanka Trump kind of interjects, and they're talking about social justice in this conversation. Macron can be heard to make a point about social justice, to which Trump, standing to his right, says it's on or it's all. I don't know what that even means. Like, okay. May answers Macron saying, as soon as you start talking about the economic aspect of it though, a lot of people start listening who wouldn't otherwise listen. And then Ivanka Trump jumps in and says, and the same with the defense side, I think, in terms of the whole sort of being very male dominated. So, okay, so she's there because she wants to talk about female empowerment. But remember, your father has been accused of rape. He was accused of rape last week, okay?
Yeah.
So let's talk about, doing something about holding your father accountable for what he does in keeping women down, how he treats them as second-class citizens. I mean, he has cut foreign aid to countries who have legalized abortion.
Yeah, look, guys, it's so obvious from that interaction that the rest of the world leaders, and that's what they are, they're world leaders, are desperately trying to avoid talking to her. You can see they're making eye contact with each other, but not her. And in fact, it looks like they're trying hard not to look at her. Lagarde at the end gives that annoyed look, but mostly Trudeau's like, look at how he turns his head. I am listening to May, I am not listening to Ivanka. And she's interjecting with nonsense that it's not about the conversation they're having. I'm telling you, I've been there. You have a situation where they're talking about something and I'm jumping in when I'm a struggling talk shows. It reminds me of a show I was doing on the weekends in Washington, right? But that's a goofy talk show host conference. Who gives a damn? These are the world leaders, and our idiot president sends his daughter in to make nonsense small talk among the adults. Can you imagine, look, any other scenario, any other world leader, Kim Jong-un's like, oh, here, deal with my son or my daughter. Like, no, we're not gonna do that. Okay, put aside dictators. Theresa May randomly sends her daughter to the event. Macron sends his daughter. They'd be like, what are you doing here?
Right.
This is absurd. I'm not gonna talk to Macron's daughter. If the leader of France wants to talk, I'm gonna have a conversation. I'm not gonna have a conversation with his pet or with his daughter or his niece. What are you I don't care if you're Macron's cousin, this is insanity. What are you doing here?
So AOC tweeted about this, and I think the way she put it perfectly just perfectly summarizes why this is frustrating for so many people and how this actually makes the United States look bad. So she says, it may be shocking to some, but being someone's daughter actually isn't a career qualification, Meghan McCain. It hurts our diplomatic standing when the president phones it in and the world moves on. The US needs our president working the G20. Bringing a qualified diplomat wouldn't hurt either, right? So I think she makes a great point there. And look, of course, there are gonna be other countries that clown on us for this type of behavior. But then there are also people in our own country who clown on us, and I think it's pretty funny. Aaron Ryan, who's been on the show before and is gonna come back soon to be a guest on the panel, tweeted this, and I love these types of activities on Twitter, right? So here's the assignment. Somebody please Photoshop Ivanka, the unwelcome interloper, boxing way above her weight into the following. And then she gives examples. There's Megan Rapinoe, goal celebration, Nixon Elvis meeting, Beyonce's Coachella performance, Curry's lab, Constitutional Convention, cast of Big Little Lies. And I just want to share some of the examples with you. So here is the Rapinoe example. There's Ivanka Trump holding a sign with, I guess, one of her products. Then you have Ivanka Trump with MLK. And then this is my personal fave, just due to the creativity of it and the artwork that it took to make it happen. Look at the history.
Yeah. She's the Forrest Gump of the American aristocracy.